I request everybody to keep their mics switched off. Whenever they are asked, they can unmute themselves so that we can have a smooth meeting, right? So once again, I welcome everybody in this webinar, How to Ace Your Exams. I'm Dr. Manisha Anvekar, and I welcome everybody in the Zoom room, as well as those who are watching us on our Facebook Live through our page, Spiritual Connect. So as per the tradition of Spiritual Connect, we begin our program with lighting of the lamp and a small mantra. So please allow me to do that. Asato ma. Please mute. Sadgamaya. Tamaso ma. Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma. Amrutam gamaya. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The meaning of this mantra is, O Lord, please take me away from the path of untruth to the path of truth, from darkness toward light, and from the fear of death to immortality. Let there be peace within me, around me, and all over in the universe. What a beautiful mantra. So now we are beginning our program. Over to Beena ji for formal welcome address and whatever.
Thank you, Manisha ji. Thank you very much. A very good evening and a warm welcome to one and all present here. I am Beena Gandhi, a proud homemaker and a Merkaba healer. I hope everyone is in the best of their health and staying safe at their homes in these challenging times. I believe all of us will have a rejuvenating start to a fresh weekend after an exhausting week full of hard work. As a novel initiative by Spiritual Connect, we have gathered today to have a heart to heart conversation with brilliant students from India and Nepal who partner the journey of how they ace their exams, learn the challenges, and how they overcome obstacles. Cheer these young and dynamic students as they share their lives experiences in this inspiring session. I'm sure that today's session will provide invaluable insights into the academic lives of successful students and their journey towards excellence. Today, Spiritual Connect has given us this wonderful platform. Spiritual Connect is a social spiritual organization founded and based in India. It is a school of metaphysical education. Dr. Manisha Anvekar ji founded it in the year 1992. Spiritual Connect is engaged in providing quality spiritual education to people from across the globe. Spiritual Connect is committed to make followers consciously spiritual. It firmly believes that this is the only way to lead a satisfactory, meaningful, happy, and content life. It has many humanitarian initiatives like RO, Asha Array of Hope, for terminally ill patients and their families. Stop Suicides, Life is for Living, and Project Purna for education and upliftment of girl child and women, to name some few. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Dr. Manisha ji, a vibrant and a charismatic personality who also fortunately happens to be my guru, who introduced me to the spiritual journey. Dr. Manisha Anvekar is the founder and CEO of Spiritual Connect and also a spiritual consultant and author based in Mumbai. So far, she has authored 48 books. She is a proud Rotarian and from Rotary Club of Bombay Northwest Zone. She is also an eminent member of Institutional Ethics Committee of CTC and Bone Marrow Transplantation Center. Social scientist. This center is a pediatric satellite branch of Lokmanya Tilak Municipal General Hospital, Mumbai. Starting January 2018, she has written and published one book every month. Her book, Jeevan Sawane Ke Mantra, is an inspirational book written specifically to give an opportunity to resume the path of humanity in prisoners in India. It is distributed free of cost in Indian jails. She has bagged many national and international awards. She also organizes Women of Substance digital awards to felicitate inspiring women on March 8 every year. To know more about Spiritual Connect and Dr. Manisha Anvekar ji, please visit her website www.spiritualconnect.org and her social media handles on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, and her YouTube channel, Spiritual Connect. So please do welcome Manisha. Thank you, Manisha.
Thank you, Beena, for such a beautiful introduction of Spiritual Connect and me. I'm so touched. Thank you so much. Beena is one of my most diligent, very sincere students, and I love her immensely. Thank you, Beena. So now I welcome our guest of honor, Reshu Dangiji from Nepal. And welcome, Reshu ma'am. And I'm going to introduce her, read out her bio, a short bio definitely. So Ms. Reshu Dangi is a diligent teacher and social worker with almost 10 years of professional teaching experience. She is an active member of Rotary Club of Javla Khel, Kathmandu, Nepal. She is also one of the board members of Shri Rapti Vidya Mandir Higher Secondary English Boarding School, located in her birthplace, Tulsipur, Dang, Nepal. The school helps to enlighten almost 600 children who belong to underprivileged and disadvantaged families through the sparkle of modern and competitive teaching approaches. She keeps herself busy by engaging with various social events like awareness programs about girls' safety, maternity health, women's rights, and child abuse. She is also engaged with the Global Peace Campaign. She has completed her master's program in English literature. She has received numerous pieces of training regarding leadership, leadership development, spiritual approach for life management, appreciative inquiry, etc. She loves to dance, explore natural sights, and facilitates the children learning about the fundamental values of life. Welcome, Reshu ma'am, to our program. Thank you so much. Is it possible to,
Thank you, ma'am.
If it is possible, if your internet connection allows you to share a few words of wisdom, you can, because I know that the connection at your side is really not good. So we are either way okay, but we would love to hear something from you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Manisha ma'am, for making me part of this event. I was excited too much, but I'm out of my, I'm out of the zone where is very good network connection. That's why I might not be able to speak and I might not be audible to you all as well. I wish all the best to all the participants here. I think I'm also learning something new from you all. All the best, all of you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. We really need those words of encouragement because today our speakers are young, dynamic students. So that, every single word of motivation is required for all of us. Okay, so over to you, Bina, once again to introduce our speakers and let us take the program further.
Thank you, Manisha. Thank you very much. How to ace your exams? Isn't today's topic exciting to find out the secrets of excellence in studies? Yes, I'm sure all of us are eager to know the magical tips which will be revealed to us by these dynamic eminent speakers from India and Nepal. We have amongst us Anumati Anvekar, who is pursuing her bachelor's degree in humanities. She is passionate about reading and writing. She has a personal blog dedicated to literature, mythology, and history, and has some experience in critically analyzing famous literature. She is a published author. Her first book, Blockbuster of the Year, came out in the year 2019. She is also an editor and hopes to become a teacher someday. She aspires to start a chain of exclusively vada pav restaurants, as she is a major fan of the fried potato snack. She plans to write many more books and make a name for herself. I would request Anubhuti to share her views.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, ma'am. I would just like to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone present here and a very good evening to everyone. And I'm so grateful to have this opportunity because this is my first time speaking in a professional capacity. So thank you so much, Dr. Manisha, for this wonderful opportunity. And I hope that I can learn something new from all of you.
Thank you, Anubhuti. I would like now to take the privilege to introduce Ashoka Devkota. Ashoka Devkota is from Nepal. She has just appeared for Grade 12 exams. Her hobbies include reading books, singing, and she loves to play guitar. She spends her leisure time reading all types of books. Literature is her favorite. She also loves to read novels, drama, and short stories. She believes books make her wise and keep her away from bad companies. She says she is so proud of her hobby. Ashoka, will you please share your views? Are you there, Ashoka?
Thank you, ma'am. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. Welcome, Ashoka. Welcome. Thank you, Ashoka. Now, I would request Hansaja Nandedkar to please join us. Hansaja Nandedkar is an MBA student from Mumbai and who pursues bachelor's in general management. In leisure time, but when she does not get the opportunity, she likes to spend her time watching web series, listening to music, and indulging in fitness activities. She likes different types of cuisines and to experiment and cook new dishes. She is a newbie at vocal training in Hindustani classical music and loves to listen to different types of music. She gives priority to her mental health and indulges in activities like yoga and meditation. Ansaja, would you like if you share your few words?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this lovely introduction. And a very good evening to all the students, all the guests, and all my fellow speakers here. I would like to thank Dr. Manisha Anvekar for inviting me as a speaker for this session. And I remember the phone call when she gave a rang and said that, this is an opportunity. And I instantaneously said yes, because this is the first time when students would be guiding with their tips, tricks, and experiences to other fellow students to learn and how to ace their exam. So it's a pleasure being among all of you here. Thank you so much.
Yes, Ansaja, very much true. This is an excitement for all students and a very innovative program, which where the students themselves will be giving their first-hand experiences. Very true. Thank you, Ansaja. I feel pressured to invite our another eminent speaker, Nehali Moharir. Nehali is 19-year-old. She lives in Nagpur city in the state of Maharashtra, which is also known as Orange City. She recently passed 12th board exams in July 21 and has joined diploma in hotel management at Government College of HMCT at Nagpur. Her hobbies are drawing, painting, cooking various Indian dishes, traveling and visiting various places like coastal areas, jungle safaris, historical places, and hills. Her dream is to travel across the country and learn about different cultures, including the food culture. Nehali, please do share your views.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nehali. I am so glad to be a part of this discourse. I thanks Dr. Manisha ma'am for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, thank you, Nehali. Thank you very much. I gladly introduce our another eminent speaker, Supriya Bajracharya. Supriya Bajracharya is from City of Temples, Kathmandu. She is currently pursuing her bachelor's in public health from Home Health Campus. She completed her schooling from Nightingale Higher Secondary School and plus two graduation from Kathmandu Model College. She describes herself an introverted extrovert. She likes adventures, hanging out with people, and volunteering in the community works. But reading novels, sketching with some soothing music, and cooking while vibing alone is also what defines her as a person. So, with that extroverted side of her, she joined Rotaract Club of Jawalik Lane in 2017, and from then onwards, she is a proud Rotaractor, serving in many community events organized by her representative club. Supriya, please tell us your views.
Thank you, Bina ma'am, for the wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. I would like to thank Dr. Manisha ma'am for the invitation and for this great opportunity. It's great to be part of this session.
Thank you, Supriya. Thank you so much. We also have amongst us another eminent speaker, Urusha Pokhrel. Urusha Pokhrel, a recent law graduate from Nepal. She has been advocating for human rights since she was a kid and been a feminist for years already. She has recently, enrolled herself in LLM programs specializing in human rights and gender justice. She has just organized and participated in many programs regarding the same. This is the very reason for pursuing her career in law. She loves to cook, especially bake, and have even thought of opening a bakery in future. Had she not pursued her career in law, she would have been a pasteurized. She loves growing plants. Filling her home with plants has been a dream to her. She is also an animal lover and one of those who is always there to advocate for animal welfare. She loves cats from the core of her heart. She also writes blogs, sometimes in order to pen down all the bottled emotions through words. It's her personal account. Urusha, please share your views.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good evening and hello to everybody. First of all, I'm very much grateful to Dr. Manisha and all of you. Since it's the first time for me as a speaker, I would not like to lie. Yes, I'm very much nervous. But having said that, I just hope to have a great evening with all of you. Thank you very much. Very much looking forward to the evening with you all. Thank you.
Sure. Welcome. Thank you, Urusha. We also have amongst us an eminent speaker, Dr. Utkarsha Anvekar. She is currently interning for her prefix as a doctor. She enjoys reading, writing, and playing with babies and cats at all the times of the day. Baking is the therapeutic for her, and she loves fragrance of fresh baked goods and old books. She has some public speaking experiences, including awareness campaigns for the rural population, as well as interviews and emceeing. As an editor and poet, she relishes the perfection of an appropriate turn of phrase, something that also reflects in her love for foreign films, books, and music with layered stories to tell. She hopes to make an excellent name for herself and build the trendiest bookstore cum cafe in the world. Utkarsha, we would like to listen your views.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction and also for inviting me to be a speaker. I'm just really glad to be here and hoping that we can all work well together and help out people who might need those tips and help each other out as well because we've got a long way to go.
Yes, yes, sure, Utkarsh. And you're all eminent speakers, and your experiences and will definitely be helpful to other aspired students over here. Thank you, and once again a warm welcome to everyone present over here. This session is exciting and informative to all the aspiring students. I'm sure about. Over to Manisha ji.
Thank you, Bina, for this. And
Yes,
I must say that all the eminent speakers of today's meeting are going to make me a glutton, yeah, a foodie, because most of you are planning either to open a vada pav chain, or you're going to bake something, or somebody is good at cooking, and Dr. Utkarsha is also going to open a world-class trendy bookstore with coffee. Okay, so when I will meet all of you, make sure to provide me something because I would love to eat that. Okay, so I'm so happy, so glad to meet all of you. And thank you, Bina, for such a wonderful introduction of our eminent speakers. I would request everybody present in the
my
Zoom
pleasure, my pleasure.
room to please shower our speakers with lots of hearts and thumbs ups and claps and everything. We all need motivation in life. And those who are watching us on Facebook Live, they are also requested to write beautiful comments, something motivational for them, because they are yet to start their journey of life. They are still students and they have agreed to be a part of this seminar, which is what you say, which is being watched by people in Zoom room and also on Facebook. And I will be putting this recording on our YouTube channel as well. So nobody's sure like who will be watching them and how they will get inspiration from them. So I want everybody, my humble request to everybody watching us, wherever you are, please shower our speakers with a lot of love, lot of motivation, and you will see that in return, they will definitely inspire you. I'm very confident that this meeting is already successful, you know. When I thought of organizing this meeting, like, you know, how to ace your exams. So the first thought that came to my mind was to invite students and not a teacher, a principal, a parent, or somebody from, from the educational fraternity. Why? Because I wanted to have a fresh look. I wanted to have some fresh inspiration. I wanted to enrich my knowledge as well because I'm also a student. We are students all our lives. So I wanted to invite these young people because they are innovative, they are creative, they are energetic, and their ideas are really very, very different from what we have, you know, as parents and teachers. So I welcome all my esteemed speakers once again, and I wish all the best to all of you. And let me tell you that there is no need to feel nervous. It's a family meeting, and I know that you are going to do your best. And have no expectations from yourself. You are going to share your own experiences. You are going to share what inspired you, how you overcame your challenges, and everybody's life is different. So please don't compare yourself with the speaker who spoke before you. Like, oh my God, she spoke so well. I don't know how to speak. There's nothing like that. You can speak in Hindi or English, whichever language you are comfortable. Okay, just be yourself, and that's it. No more blah blah. I just want to give the floor to my esteemed speakers now. So we are going to have the panel discussion. There will be 3 rounds, 1, 2, 3 questions. I will ask to you, I will invite you, take your name, then you can share your experience. And at the end, I'll be asking you to share your wisdom with fellow students and with everybody else. So are you all ready for that? Thumbs up. Are you all ready for that? Show me your thumbs ups. Yay, great. Shabbas. All right. So I would like to keep it very simple and I would like to take it alphabetically. So my first speaker is Anubhuti. Miss Anubhuti, I was going through your bio and I found out that you are an author and I feel so proud of you. I must congratulate you for that and lots of congratulations and keep up the great work. There's a lot you can do later in your life. I was
Thank you,
reading.
ma'am.
Okay, most welcome. I was reading your hobbies. So you read and write and do quite a few things. So I would like to ask you, how has your hobby helped you in maybe getting your academics better? Do you feel that your hobbies help you in getting your academics better? If yes, then how? Please unmute yourself.
They do. My hobbies help me because, like you already mentioned, I have been a voracious reader since childhood. So that really helps in building a vocabulary. And through that, I developed an interest in writing. And in school, I started participating in creative writing competitions. So that really helped me get ahead of other people because I had an advanced vocabulary since a young age. And then I developed an interest. And then that began translating to my exams. And I started writing creative answers. Didn't always get the best marks, but when my teachers were impressed, it helped.
Very good. I'm
So it
impressed.
really helped me.
Yeah. And getting good marks is always not the goal. Learning is the goal. And I'm really so proud of you. So a big round of applause for her. Maybe through reactions, you can do that. You can just put claps.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now I would like to come to Ashoka. Miss Ashoka, I was
Yes, ma'am.
going through your bio and I'm highly impressed with your hobbies. And you play guitar, you sing. So do you feel your hobbies have helped you in your academics in any way?
Yes, ma'am. Reading different types of books, novels, and dramas makes me. It helps to increase my vocabulary skills. It helps to raises self-esteem, and it builds good communication skills. And mainly that it always helps to increase my brain so that I could easily focus on my study. So yes, ma'am.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, reading really increases, enhances your vocabulary, and you become a better person. And you play guitar also, and you sing. So, is there something that playing guitar or singing has also helped you somehow in your studies? Maybe to just feel a little better, to take a break in between your studies or something like that?
Yes, ma'am. I can easily concentrate on my study. It makes my mind fresh. That's why.
Very good. Very good. Now my next question is to Miss Hansaja. Hansaja, I would like to tell you that since you are from Mumbai, I would like to meet you very soon. And I would like to eat the food that you cook. Okay. And cooking is your hobby and you have many other hobbies. What I liked more about your bio is that you take care of your mental health as well. So is yoga, meditation, or any of your hobbies helped you in attaining your goals or keeping you sane or relieving your stress or whatever way they have helped you in your studies? Could you please share that?
Sure.
Please unmute. Please
So, yes, am I audible?
yes.
Okay. Okay. So yes, so I have a couple of hobbies like it was just mentioned in my bio, like there was music, there was cooking, and there was fitness also. So I'll start with music. I think music has helped me to attain concentration and discipline.
Mhm.
because music is an art. There is no particular formula that you put in variables and put get an output.
Yes.
You need to give your heart and soul to understand art. And like when my guru is teaching me a particular note, if I do not concentrate, I will never understand it.
Exactly.
And that is how it has taught me. And until I get it right, I have to practice it. So concentration, discipline. From cooking, I think I've gotten a creative side because I like different cuisines. So I experiment, I use different ingredients. So I think it allows me to look for different solutions for a problem. And with fitness, again, it gives me again concentration and a getaway from my hectic day. So that's how it has helped me
Very good.
in my studies.
Very good. My next question is to Miss Nehali. Could you please share how your hobbies of cooking and traveling and others have helped you in your studies?
Drawing and painting is
Yes,
my
even drawing
hobby,
and
which
painting. Yes.
drawing and painting is my hobby. Required lot of concentration.
Mm-hmm.
And this concentration helped me in my studies.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. I'm impressed. Very good. So now my next question is to Miss Supriya. I liked that you are, what did you say that? In your bio, there was something very interesting, right? You are introverted extrovert. I really like that concept. And I would like to you to share something that your hobbies must have helped you in attaining your goals in your studies or whatever way.
Yeah, not all my hobbies, but my hobby of volunteering and community work have definitely helped me in my studies. So basically, I was always fascinated by and had the passion for human biology. And as a child, I didn't know much about it, so my aim was always to become a doctor. And anyone in my family or my teachers who used to ask me about my aim, I always used to reply that I want to become a doctor. Then I was always also good at giving body massages and all. And when I used to give to my parents and my grandparents, they always used to compliment me about my hand gestures and my working techniques while giving massage. So with that around, as I grew up, I made my mind to become a physiotherapist. But then again, a little corner of my heart always wanted to get involved in community works and volunteering. So I wanted to explore more. Then as I grew up, I got to know more scopes in this medical field, and then during a counseling session during my high school, I came to know about public health. And from all other medical fields, I felt public health as different and interesting from others, and I had that feeling from my heart that I can do it, and this is what I want. So then I chose my career in it. So yeah,
Very
that's
good.
it.
Very good. Now my question is to Miss Urusha. Your bio is also very interesting. And I would like to know, like, has baking or gardening or like you are a lover of animals and plants. So has these things ever helped you in your studies or becoming a better person or whatever way?
Yes, definitely, ma'am, because I guess the main thing is like you need to keep yourself sane all the time. Like
Yes.
monotonous studies for hours and studying and reading voraciously and everything just might make you go insane sometimes. And
Exactly.
when I actually think that my mind cannot take that pressure, I just hop onto the kitchen, gather my ingredients, and just start baking. And sometimes when there's not much time, I just go and just admire my plants. I don't even need to do anything, just talk to my plants, admire them. And yes, animals just keep me sane, just make me more of a human being. Animals and plants and baking just keeps me sane. So that is how it has always helped me in my study, giving me more, making me more of a human being, taking care of my mental health, I guess, which is the most important thing, apparently.
Very
So I
good.
guess, yes, it has helped me a lot.
Very good. My last question in this round is to Dr. Utkarsha. So your bio says a lot, like you love to play with kids, you love to play with cats, you write, you anchor, you watch movies, and you do a lot. So how have your hobbies helped you with your studies?
I have a lot in common with Urusha actually. So the same. And also, for example, I used to draw a lot. So that used to help me out because I could remember things better diagrammatically.
Mhm.
And I have a lot in common with Anubhuti as well, and with everyone who spoke about reading, because that, I think, it doesn't just build vocabulary, but it also builds a lot of focus. Like you can sit in a place for hours on end and just read and read and read. So that helps you out, when you're trying to study, especially if it's a subject you really enjoy. And then there's always other hobbies we have that are just there to keep us sane, like dancing or music, or just watching movies or listening to music. So I really like, I'm very curious about different cultures. So that really helps me when I'm feeling a little anxious or stressed about my studies or about practicals or about anything academic related.
Yes.
So those are just my down times where I can relax and just vibe and rebuild that focus that I require. So that's how
Excellent.
they help me.
Excellent. So may we have a huge round of applause through reactions, please? Please put hearts, thumbs ups, and claps and everything for our speakers. So now moving ahead with the rounds two. This round is a specific question for each and every one of you. So again, coming back to Miss Anubhuti, would you like to share your challenges you went through a few years back, and how did it change your life? I know this is going to be a little difficult question for you, but uh, I feel that it has given you a lot of power. So please unmute yourself and please share.
One very specific incident that comes to mind is when I had just entered 10th grade. I was diagnosed with a kidney illness called nephrotic syndrome. And it leads to a lot of accumulation of fluid in the body, and like I had a lot of trouble with a lot of my bodily functions, like normal functions, and it generally happens in pretty small kids, but I was already nearing 15 and it was a bit complicated for me. So I had just entered 10th and it was really scary because I missed a lot of school. After my summer vacation, I missed almost 2 months of complete schooling. And I was like that I was on heavy medication and I thought my future is bleak. I thought, how am I going to clear my 10th grade? Like when I'm not even able to sit straight for 20 minutes. Like I had to lie down for 40 minutes if I sat for 20. But then as I slowly started getting used to all of it, and like there was a lot of edema on my body and it was really heavy and weird, but I started getting used to it. And I know it would take time. So as I started getting used to it, I started realizing that just lying down is not going to help me. I have to do something about it. So I just told myself that, okay, you can take breaks, but you have to study and you have to try as much as you can to get through this grade. You don't have to be a stellar student, but at least clear it properly. So, and that helped because I had the support of my family, a really supportive family, and had the support of teachers, of my classmates. So it was really good. And as I started studying, I realized that even though my physical capacity has decreased by almost 60%, my mental capacity has increased a lot. So I started retaining a lot more than I used to. And then as while I was like going through all my subjects, I actually started enjoying that year. And then when I finally sat for my exam, like the board exam, I found that I remembered everything and I did pretty well. And it was like, ironically, that was one of the best years of my life because I discovered a lot about myself. I had terrible self esteem, but now I know that I can do anything I set my mind to. So it's really gotten better for me. And the three most important of years of my life, like 10th, 11th, and 12th, they were all like gone in the same thing because I was on medication for 3 full years. But after I cleared 10th, I realized that the rest of it is going to be easy. 10th was what was scary. And I had gotten used to my medication and I managed to clear everything properly. And now I'm healed and I feel a lot better. And I even sometimes miss those years because they helped me talk to myself a lot. So now I'm really happy with myself. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. I really feel proud of you, and I know how difficult it would have been for you. 10th, 11th, 12th are very important years in any student's life. And I feel that if you could do it that way, if you're determined, I think you can achieve what you want to, whatever may come. And this is a huge message to each one of us, not only students, but everybody whosoever is there in this Zoom room or watching us on Facebook. Yes, it's very inspiring story. Hats off to you, Miss Anubhuti. Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
A huge round of applause for her. My second question is for Miss Ashoka.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Ashoka, you just appeared for your 12th grade exam. And we are going through pandemic for last 1.5 years, more than that now. So we have different challenges. And so what were your challenges and how you coped up, with that? And what were your strategies to pass your exam?
Ma'am, first of all, I am very thankful to my family who support me in this pandemic. We are not able to take the physical class in this pandemic situation. As we all know, health is more important factor in our life. So our government decided to take the class through
Online.
Virtual.
Yeah.
Virtual. Yeah, online virtual class. So schools, universities, colleges started to take the virtual class. At first, it was hard for us because it was our first experience.
So was it difficult for you to attend the classes or be focused on your class like during your virtual classes? Because nobody was used to such things so this was the first time that all students attended virtual classes. So was it difficult for you to focus on your studies?
Yeah, ma'am. Sometimes electricity gone, then we have to manage anyhow. We have to maintain. But
never mind. Good. I know that we all went through difficult challenges, and when you passed your exam, I know that you will definitely do better in life. Kudos to you. Can we have a round of applause for Ashoka, please? Please show your reactions. Thank you so much. My next question now is for Hansaja. Ms. Hansaja, how has your academic experience been so far, and how has it shaped your life?
Right. So my academic experiences have been great till now, and academics has given me confidence and independence, like the most important thing that I consider today. So independence to choose my path and confidence to fuel those paths. So these are the things that have helped me. And I believe that academics helps you with very basic skills in life, like reading, writing, and even arithmetic. And these actually are the base for anything that you do in your life. So that's precisely what has happened with me. Apart from that, academics has helped me to structure my thoughts, given me wings to fly, given me that knowledge which I really require in my future also. So for instance, when I chose to pursue an MBA degree, a lot of questions were like, oh, it's such a common path. Everyone wants to do an MBA. But I had reasons to do it because I look forward to be an entrepreneur in future. I am not sure what it will be, but there's definitely a tingling thought in my mind. And when I chose it, I knew. So they said, oh, why do you need to do this? A lot of startups have worked without even getting an MBA. But I felt that no, I need this structured degree to fuel my passion. And that's the reason I chose it. And now I can see that with this degree, it has helped me to, gain a very broader perspective to business solutions, which I really need to apply and in my life also. So
Very good.
that's it.
Excellent sharing of your thoughts. May I request somebody in the Zoom room with iPhone to please rename themselves? Please do it now. My next question is to Nehali. Miss Nehali, what inspired you to choose HMCT and how did you study for that?
Cooking is my passion.
Mhm.
Also, I am a foodie.
Okay,
My dream is to open a own restaurant. So I joined HMCT.
very good. Excellent. Come on, a huge round of applause for our speakers. Please come on. Now my next question is to Miss Supriya. Would you like to share any life-changing experience related to your academics? And how did it shape your life? Miss Supriya.
Life-changing experience as in not much, but I didn't used to concentrate in studies during my high school. I mean, it was difficult for me to focus in studies. Some few subjects were difficult for me to revise and to memorize and all. So I used to I try to focus more during the class lectures and try to be up to date to my assignments and all. That helped me to pass my exams, and I passed my board as well by being consistent with my energy and that hard work and all. So that's all.
Very good. Claps for Miss Supriya. Once again, the person with iPhone, 2 question marks, names. Please change your name. This is my last request to this person. Now my question is to Miss Urusha. Why did you choose the field of law? Was there any specific reason and how did you prepare for it? Miss Urusha.
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. So I've already mentioned in my bio as well, I've always been an advocate of human rights since I was a kid. To be honest, law is not even my passion. I wanted to be a baker, honestly, but I just thought, yeah, I can just take baking as my hobby. And I've always been an advocate for human rights and a feminist at heart, fighting for women's rights everywhere, wherever I go. And I always advocate. I always raise my voice. I don't like to remain silent just because people's gonna just judge me. So whenever people used to ask me, who are you to advocate for human rights? So I needed that weapon in order to fight. No, this is the truth. I needed that weapon to fight. I wanted to be a lawyer, not even a lawyer, but yes, a human rights activist. So I needed that weapon, and so I just studied law, and I just went to the law school without any preparation in mind. Yes, I did prepare for the exams, but I was not prepared what was in front of me. I just went there in order to advocate for human rights, and I actually cleared the law school. And this still amazes me because I had thought of pursuing my career in hotel management at first, but then I was very much angry with the society. Why would you just curtail other people's human rights? How can you be so selfish? And yes, that is the reason why I chose law as my career, and I'm very much proud of it, honestly. And how did I prepare for it? I've always had this in me, I guess, discipline. while I study. Since I was a kid, I've always had this, I always follow this discipline, and I always have this dedication. I set this goal and I just meet that goal. And yes, that is how I prepared myself for the career I had no passion in. Just to give something to the society, because I need to give something back to the world. That is what I believe in. And baking, I will continue it as a hobby, and I will for sure open a bakery. Everybody is invited in the future.
Very
Thank
good.
you very much.
Excellent. Very good. I am very happy. Very nice. So in this round, my last question is to Dr. Utkarsha. Dr. Utkarsha, what will be your advice for medical aspirants, and how did you prepare for it? That exam is supposed to be very tough, very competitive. So could you please share some thoughts on that? Please unmute.
Thank you for the question. Am I not audible?
Yes.
Am I
you
not
are.
audible yet?
You are audible.
Thank you for the question. It is indeed very competitive. I should say hyper competitive. So, and because it's multiple choice, it's really tough because most of the options are very similar and it's easy to get confused. And also because we have 3 subjects, so biology, chemistry, and physics. And a lot of people are often weak in either physics or chemistry. Our bio is usually very strong. So because there's negative marking as well, it's easy to lose marks if we just try to guess. So no guesstimates here. One has to be sure at least that, like you eliminate 2 options first out of the 4 options, and then the 2 that are left, you try to pick the one that most logically seems to fit, because if you pick the wrong one, you're going to lose marks and that's going to bring your score really down.
Exactly.
So if you are going to make a guess, I think it's really important to be confident and to pick very carefully. And as for the prep, it just takes consistency and hard work like any other exam. So, but you can use a few tricks to try to remember what you're studying since the syllabus is so vast. So, like mnemonics, for example, or if you study better audiovisually, then there's so many videos and lectures that you can watch, at twice the speed, and then you can make your own notes and study from those. Or like I used to study from diagrams a lot, especially where classification is involved, or where even for physics, like when you have to solve those problems, if you draw a diagram of the mechanics, then you can solve it easier. You can try to remember formulas easier, and that's it. Eating well and sleeping well is most important right before the exam. So remembering that most of all, so that we are at our best mentally on the day of the exam. Those are my tips.
Excellent. A huge round of applause for all of our speakers, because with this question, the second round is also over. Now over to the third round. And this is a very simple round. I'll be asking your mantra of studies. How everybody has a mantra. That's what I suppose, I presume. You may or may not have, but you can share whatever you feel like. So once again, my first question is to Miss Anubhuti. What is your mantra to study well?
I don't have a specific mantra. My only goal has always been to achieve a target I set for myself, and I generally set targets very high. But something that I will recommend to students is, when you're reading really long and boring paragraphs, then try making it into a song. Try making up any kind of tune and then try singing along to it. It helps. It will stick in your head. That's all I want to say.
Very good. I love that. So you should sing songs. Very good. My next question is to Miss Ashoka. What is your mantra to score well?
To secure a good grades in exam, I do the following things such as I motivate by myself. Sometimes I used to sing a song so that I would easily concentrate on my study. Um, I used to do yoga meditation so that it helps to makes my mind refreshed.
Very good.
And I listen and participate in the class. I never feel any. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Claps for her, please. Now my third question is to Miss Hansaja. Please share your mantra to study and secure good grades.
Yes. So I have a couple of things to say.
Okay.
First is please pay attention to the when your teacher is teaching you in your class, because if you're looking for a solution just a day before your exam, then you're already too late to secure a good grade. So I would say concentrate during the lectures. Second thing, meditation. Please practice it just for 5 minutes early in the morning and before going to bed. I think that helps you to keep yourself calm. And another thing, listen to music, maybe dance to your favorite song, so that breaks you off from the whole stress feeling that you have during your examination.
Very true.
So yes.
Excellent. So can we have claps for her as well? Very good. My next question is to Miss Nehali. What is your mantra of studies? I think Nehali is not there in the meeting. She might have logged out. Never mind. I will come to Miss Supriya. Could you please share your mantra?
So my mantra to study to secure good marks is to be consistent and up to date, as I mentioned before. Either it be my homework, classwork, or other assignments, I complete it on time, and I'm up to date to all the works according to my course. And likewise, if I need to research or take a reference on some particular topic, it will be easy if I'm up to date on the class activities and my science assignments. And I will be clear about the topics I feel easy and the ones that are difficult, so that it won't pile up during the exams. So in that way, it will help me to secure good marks and to study well.
Exactly. Very nice. I'm glad. Very nice. My next question to is Miss Urusha. Would you like to share your mantra of studies and getting good grades?
Yes, ma'am. Most of the participants, most of my friends have already shared it. In fact, to me, it's a discipline, as I've already mentioned before. I have this discipline when I study. I just set a goal in my mind. I make a schedule in my head and just set a target, and then I just meet it. And something different that works for me might not work for everybody, but this is my mantra. I usually write when I study, and when I write, I just make it fun. I use different colored paints, and I just make cute little things between the notes. I mean, some animals, some emojis, and just make a house and write something inside it. I mean, I find it very much fun whenever I study. Whenever my friends see my notes, they just find it very colorful. I mean, why are you building a rainbow out of a note, is what they always ask me. And I always use sticky notes. I mean, it just sticks to my head. When I study in sticky notes, I stick sticky notes everywhere, even in my notes and everything. And yes, that helps me a lot. It makes study fun, because normally people find studying very much boring. So yes, that is my mantra. You need to find your own mantra. That is mine.
Exactly. Very
Oh,
interesting.
Anubhuti also makes cute little things. Yeah, that is very much therapeutic.
Yeah.
I agree.
Excellent. Very good. My last question in this round is for Dr. Utkarsha. Could you please share your mantras of studies, please?
Yes. Whenever I'm finding it difficult to remember things, I just attach the concept with something really weird or out there. So it's easy to remember. The moment I think of it, I'm like, oh, that funny thing. That's what this is. And if it's really like for medical students, because there's such a huge syllabus to cover in a very short amount of time, and you can't skip anything, because in real life, you can't skip over a patient because you didn't study that topic. So a lot of the times, right before the exam, I've seen my peers, I've felt it myself as well, that you get really overwhelmed and you start feeling, will I be able to complete this before my exam tomorrow? Or will I be able to remember all of this? So I feel at such times, if you wish to cry it out, set an alarm and cry it out for 10 minutes, but then go back to study, you know, because a lot of times it feels easier to just give up. But instead of giving up, it's okay. You can salvage whatever is left. Just do your best and, keep at it and you'll get there.
Wow, exactly.
So,
Very true.
and also it's important to take
Yeah.
breaks. Like for me personally, after 40 minutes, my brain gets really tired and then I need like a 15-minute break at least. So there's this rule, I think most people have heard of it, like 45 minutes and then take a 20-minute break. Just reward yourself, eat something nice, snack or watch something or listen to something or just, exercise, dance around, whatever, talk to your friend. So that really helps as well because it's hard to focus for a long period of time. Like you can't study for 2 hours straight and then remember everything. That and repeated revisions. That's what helps.
Very good. Very good. This is how it should be. And if I have to share my mantra of studies is hard work combined with smart work, discipline and dedication. Also, eating and sleeping well, taking care of your mental health, taking breaks. This is all my mantra is. And you should know your capacity because we all have different brain capacities. Some people can study for 2, 3 hours altogether, in just one go. But 45 minutes, not more than that, you can study actually focused on your thing. So take breaks, be yourself, know what your strengths and limitations are, and accordingly, you should study and get good marks. Excellent. So now we are going to the last section where I would invite you to share your closing remarks. And in this section, I would request you to give advice to your fellow students because I think you can only give that advice to them. You have the similar kind of challenges and quite a few things. So I request all of you to please share your advice or words of wisdom with them. Starting with Ms. Anubhuti, could you please share your closing remarks? Please unmute yourself.
For advice to students, I would just like to say that recreation is extremely important. Like when you're studying, then when you set a goal for yourself, you can complete it, but recreation helps in that. These two things are not inversely proportional. If your mind is relaxed, then you study faster. So breaks are very important. And personally, I have extremely low physical stamina. So I need very frequent breaks. So they really help me rejuvenate because otherwise my mind just shuts down and sometimes it gets to the extent where I can't even remember my own name. That's the way it becomes. So breaks are extremely important and I used to be a chronic procrastinator. So, but I realized that you shouldn't be procrastinating if you can help it. If you can help it, then try to complete as much as you can in a short amount of time and then leave the rest for when you can manage it later. Then when you do a bit every day, then it doesn't pile up and then you don't have a like breakdown or you don't panic. So that's something that's really helpful. Thank you so much for the opportunity once again.
Thank you so much. A huge round of applause for her because she has shared that she has been a procrastinator, which most of us are during our student life. So hats off to you, Anubhuti. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Now coming to Ashoka, do you have any piece of advice for your fellow students?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me a golden opportunity to share this all thing in front of you. So um, my message to all the students is that please positive thoughts, be strong, be positive, take care of your health, stay fit, Thank you, ma'am.
Very good, Ashoka. Staying fit, keeping positive thoughts is very important. Excellent thoughts. Thank you so much. Now I would like to go to Hansaja. Hansaja, would you please like to share your closing remarks, any piece of advice?
Yes, definitely. So I think the first important thing, please keep your hobbies alive. It definitely helps you to rejuvenate yourself and your mind. Secondly, I would say please practice meditation. It helps you keep yourself calm. And thirdly, this was actually a mantra by my teacher, and I still try and practice it even today, which goes as work hard, do your best, believe in God, and leave the rest.
Very good.
And I would like to really thank you, Dr. Manisha. Thank you so much for this opportunity, for bringing me as a speaker on this session. And I actually learned a lot from the other fellow speakers over here. So thank you all for joining in and enlightening me with more knowledge this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hansaja. Nehali, I think she's not there. Never mind. So my next question is to Miss Supriya. Your closing remarks, please. Your advice, whatever.
So my message to you all is that focus on your studies and career first. Nothing comes easily in life. So to achieve the goal you have made, you need to work really hard for that. And high schools and colleges are not an easy and cool as shown in movies or in series. So you need to make your career your first priority. And also don't just spend your time either just enjoying or studying. Just have everything in balance and it will be great. Thank you.
Exactly. Very nice. Thank you so much. A huge round of applause for Miss Supriya as well. Now, coming to Miss Urusha, please share your piece of advice.
Thank you, ma'am. Firstly, advice. Yeah, you need to balance your life. First of all, you take care of your mental health. You should prevent yourself from going insane by studying too much. You need to have fun as well. Go out, have fun, enjoy your hobbies, everything, and just have that consistency and discipline while studying. Like do everything together, and just don't just spend your time doing only one thing. But regarding how to, since the topic is how to ace your exams, I might be contradicting myself on this because I am a great hard worker. But if you can work smart, I mean, you need to work smart to ace your exams. Hard work is not enough sometimes. Even the one who's works smart aces the exam compared to hard worker. I have felt that. I mean, being a hard worker, my smart friends who work smart have aced the exams with flying colors compared to me. Yes, and yes, I guess Three Idiots. I'm getting reminded of the movie Three Idiots, where you need to just run after the knowledge and marks chart मार के पीछे भाग के आ जाएगी. Yes, that also works. And yes, the main thing is find your own mantra, find your own way of studying, keep everything is in balance and work smart. This is a very good advice I can give you all. And yes, thank you very, very much, Dr. Manisha ma'am, for providing me with this opportunity. I've never had this opportunity before. I mean, I have been a host or I have been a participant, but as a speaker, as a fellow speaker, it has been a great honor. I mean, oh, I did something great in life is what I'm feeling right now. And glad to have met such great minds today, such great people, such sweet people. Yes, it was a great evening. Thank you very much, guys. And I hope we keep in touch in coming days as well. Thank you.
Thank you,
for
Urusha.
having me tonight.
Very nice advice. I just loved it. And now coming to Dr. Utkarsha, I would like to have your piece of advice for all fellow students. Please unmute.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So I have just three things to say. Number one, keep at it. Don't give up. It's going to feel difficult sometimes. It's going to feel, really hard. Sometimes it's going to feel frustrating, but it's okay. Keep at it. Secondly, don't hesitate to ask for help from your seniors, from your peers, from your teachers, from your parents, from the, anywhere. Just never hesitate to ask for help. There's always someone out there who can help you, you know. Like for us, we have this whole culture where our seniors will tell us what the most important topics are and how to study them, or why it's so important clinically. So that, helps us really build the concept really well. So I find that a very good practice, and it makes it easier to ask for help when you need it. And thirdly, figure out what works for you. You don't have to follow what everyone else is doing. Just because they are doing it does not mean it should be done by you. So figure out what works for you and stick to it. And be creative when you're studying. That will help a lot. It will make it more enjoyable, and it will make it more accessible to you to accomplish what you want to.
Very
And
good.
I'm really glad I was able to be a part of this, and lovely to meet all of you and hear from all of you. I feel like I learned a lot actually. So thank you so much.
Very good. Very beautiful piece of advice. And I would say that everybody has given practical tips, which every student, every individual person has to find their own mantra, find their own way how to study, how to excel, because there is nothing like one size fits all. So you have to know about yourself, what suits you, what doesn't, and never give up in life. Very good piece of advice. It is said that humans' glory is not in never falling, right? It's not that you should never fall, but your glory lies in rising every time you fall. You are humans, we are humans, so we come with the right to make mistakes. So it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. If you fail, doesn't make, it's not the question of life and death. There is nothing like that in life. Failure is part of success story. So write your success story with failures. If I say I never failed in my life, I'll be lying. Everybody fails somewhere or the other. But the beauty is in learning why you failed. Maybe you have to put in more efforts. Maybe you have to repurpose it. Maybe you have to think of something new with a new awareness. All said and done, life is only about learning and nothing else. There is no destination. There is no trophy. There is no certificate. There is nothing. Only thing that lies in it is your progress. You should be a better person today than you were yesterday. And that's how it should be. Have beautiful, high self-esteem. You are given everything in life. You are the best God could have made. You're the beautiful person. You are intelligent. Your talent may lie in something else. If I'm good at something, you may be good at something else. So find out that, find your talent, find your inherent talent. Learn something. Never stop learning. Never feel that you mastered something, because we can never master anything. The more you go into the world of education, the more you find that, oh my God, you walked only this much of way. And you were thinking, oh my God, I am something. No. So until you breathe your last, you should be a student. That is a simple piece of advice from me. Today, I wanted to give all opportunity to my student esteemed guests. On 23rd, I am giving another seminar on the same, what do you call, your success mantra for your exams. And I will be covering quite a few tips. I'll be giving how to find your own style of studying, style of learning. And I'll be giving a short guided meditation to overcome fear of failure in exams specifically. So if you're interested, you can join me. You can get the updates from our Facebook page, our Instagram page. So you can follow us there. And now it's time to felicitate our guest speakers and also our guest of honor, as well as my friend and my student, Beena. So please give me just one moment so that I can share their certificates on this. and they will be emailed the certificates in some time. So just a moment, let me just get the file here. Where is that? Just a moment, I'm not finding it here. One moment, please. Oh my God, where is that? Now I got it. One moment, I have to go back again. Something went wrong, just give me 1 minute. Let me come back to it. How is that? I'm really sorry for this goof up, but I can't help it. How to ace your exams? I think it's this. It's preparing the presentation. Good. I'm at it after all. So let me go to the next slide. So this is for our esteemed guest, Ms. Reshu Dangi. So may we have some claps for her? Ms. Reshu, I would like you to...
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We are blessed to have you today. And you supported us and gave us very good esteemed speakers. So fortunate to have you today. Now,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I will request you to present these certificates to our guest speakers. So this is for Ashoka. Reshu ma'am is presenting you this. Claps for Ashoka, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
This is for Hansaja. Thank you so much, Hansaja, for coming for this. Reshu ma'am is presenting this to you too. This is for Anubhuti. Claps for her too. Yeah, Anubhuti.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then this is for Dr. Utkarsha. Thank you so much for coming.
So much.
This is for Supriya. Claps for her.
Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am.
Thank you so much. This is for Nehali. I think she's not there. Never mind. Claps for her too. Congratulations. Then this is for Urusha. Congratulations, Urusha.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And last but not the least, this is for my student, my friend, and today's anchor, Veena. This is for you. Congratulations. You have done a brilliant job. And I love you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I love you too, ma'am.
So I congratulate all of you once again. And I'm so thankful to all of you for being here. Last 10 days were our festive season and we all were busy, but you still could make out some time for this activity. And so glad, so fortunate, I learned a lot. Now over to Veena for formal vote of thanks. Veena?
Yes. Thank you, Manisha. Thank you, Manisha. So I would like to say something from my side also. That life, how to ace exams. So exams means our life is also an exam. So from today's conversation, we have come to know various tips, magical tips, which we find that in day-to-day life also we have to learn from the students. That these challenges which as student life Anubhuti has faced, and any other student has also faced, and how she has boldly, confidently overcome everything. So hats off to Anubhuti and Hansaja and all other speakers, Dr. Utkarsha and everyone, how they have excelled their journey after doing hard work, dedication, and along with meditation also. So we can see that it's a bunch of everything. You have to fix up with everything. Your hobbies also has to be go parallel with your hard work and everything. You be yourself. Don't just be in a rat race of getting marks and everything. So you always you be yourself, be physically, mentally perfect. And yes, I'm sure Dr. Manisha ji is always there to help anyone, any student, whenever they need it, any guidance. Do connect to her personally also. She will be always there to help you. So finally, we would like to thank all the speakers we have today for taking out time from the busy schedules. Moreover, we would also like to thank today's guest of honor, Ms. Reshu Dangi, for the knowledge she has shared with us. Last but most definitely not the least, we would like to thank Dr. Manisha ji for the constant efforts and commitment to make everyone consciously spiritual. I'm sure we'll be meeting again and having more magical tips in other sessions. Thank you, Manisha. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Beena. You did a brilliant job. Everybody did a brilliant job in this seminar today. And all those who are present, I would like to thank all of you, because sparing 1.5 hours from busy schedules is really difficult in today's time. So all those who are in our Zoom room as well as on our Facebook Live, my heartfelt thanks, my gratitude to everybody. Do well in your life. Life is not the question of life and death. It's only moving ahead. It's only about progressing. It's only about learning. Love yourself the way you are. Accept yourself the way you are. Okay. With this, I would like to end the meeting over here. And once again, thank you so much, everyone. I feel so enriched today. And I was so confident that you all will do a great job. And yes, you did that. I feel fortunate that I'm in touch with all of you, and we will do many more programs. Possibly this was your, what do you call it? First opportunity, first step towards a bigger goal. And you will have many more opportunities to be a speaker. And you all did an excellent job, I must say that. So how many of you are nervous now? Please tell me that. Nobody.
Not me.
Not me, not me. All of you smile, please. So it's always about finding yourself, discovering yourself, and rediscovering yourself. If you fail to find your purpose, search it again. Doesn't matter. Find it as many times as you want to. It's all about that. So with this, I would like to say thank you and a great night ahead to all of you. I wish you a blessed life ahead. Thank you so much. So give me some time so that I can stop the meeting at the Facebook Live. Okay. And if you want to stay in this meeting, we can stay for some time. Thank you so much. And I would like to have a group photo of all the speakers. And Beena and Reshu, all of you have to stay, please. Others, if you have to say something, you can write to us at www.spiritualconnect.org or spiritualconnect@gmail.com. Please remember, connect is with a K and not with a C. Thank you.
There were a few people whose names weren't visible. So does anyone know who they were?
No, I removed 3 people.
Right. There was someone called Addison Ray, who we know is a public figure. It can't be that person's real name.
Exactly. That's why I removed 3 people.
That person wrote something in Japanese.
Yeah.
Exactly. Did they send it to everyone? I thought it was sent only to me.
No, it was sent to everyone.
They sent it in direct messages.
No, in direct messages, because you are co-host. So it was sent to you as well. It came to me. That was the reason I was
Hmm.
pointing out again and again, iPhone, you know. So I removed 3 people from the meeting.
Yeah.
And that is the reason
And the
I
absent person, I kept trying to ask them to name themselves, but
exactly.
they wouldn't.